Aloha, everybody! It is I, the Great Clement, and today we are going to finish what we started. Sega! Oh, I still love that sound. Back in 2010, Sega released Sonic the Hedgehog 4 Episode 1, which was a throwback to all of the 90s Sega Genesis Sonic games, and it had mixed receptions. Afterwards, we got Sonic Colors, Sonic Generations, and a Mario and Sonic Olympic game. It wouldn't be until 2012 that we would finally get the follow-up, Sonic the Hedgehog 4 Episode 2. So that's why I'm playing it now instead of back then after I finished Episode 1. This game features new additions like red rings, bottomless pit warning signs that were in Sonic Generations, and I think it's important to play the games in order to see the evolution of the series. But yeah. Episode 1 had a basic story. Eggman was building robots out of animals, you had to go stop him, but Sonic 4 Episode 2 actually has a connection to Sonic CD. The little planet of Sonic CD is back, and it's hovering next to Earth once again, so Dr. Eggman is going to take advantage. Not by grabbing the Time Stones, but just by taking it over and, well, you'll see. But the Time Stones aren't in this game. We do have our good buddy Miles Tails Prower joining the fray this time around, though. And Eggman is accompanied by his greatest robot creation, Metal Sonic. And speaking of Metal Sonic, if you happen to own a copy of Sonic the Hedgehog 4 Episode 1, and then you play Sonic the Hedgehog 4 Episode 2, you unlock this special bonus episode called Episode Metal. And that's what we're going to play right now. Alrighty folks, time to play through Episode Metal as Metal Sonic, and holy shit, 4 slicers! Episode Metal is a collection of levels from Episode 1 that have been redesigned to be a lot more dickish. They have a lot of dickish enemy placement that make it kind of frustrating. Ugh! Like, what the hell? You go into the steam, it launches you into the sky, and then you just run right into that crab's arm. Like, what am I supposed to do? I can't homing attack him from underneath. I can slightly move to the left, but, you know, then I can't really get to the platform I'm trying to get on. Like, that's really dickish design. Jesus. Episode Metal takes place before the main campaign with Sonic and Tails, and it has a whole bunch of levels from Episode 1, so I figured it'd be a good idea to play this first to have a little trip through memory lane. You know, after Episode 1, which was like a year or so ago, my Let's Play of it, I played through Colors, I played through Generations, and all this other stuff. It'd be a good idea to have a refresher on what Episode 1 was all about, what its badniks were like, what its stages were like, the music that played during it, which was pretty fantastic, if I do say so myself. So this is a good refresher course. This is a good reminder of the previous adventure. Metal Sonic does not have any unique abilities. He plays pretty much exactly like Sonic did. He has the homing attack, he has the spin dash, He still takes damage from badniks, and if you have no rings when you take damage, then you die and you go back to a previous checkpoint. I was kind of hoping Metal Sonic would have some exclusive ability, because you think of Sonic characters and it's like, oh, Tails is like Sonic, but he can fly. Oh, Knuckles is like Sonic, but he can glide. Amy is not really like Sonic at all. She's her own different kind of beast, at least in Sonic Advance 1. And, you know, you kind of hope that, like, I'm going to play as Metal Sonic in a 2D Sonic game. Is he going to have some kind of crazy boost? Is he going to have some kind of laser beam? Or, I don't know. But, nah, they don't give him anything special. He's just a Metal Sonic. Which I guess is the point, but, yeah. If you played Episode 1, you're familiar with Metal Sonic's momentum and control and all of that jazz. Just because he flies everywhere when he's running, you know, that's just a replacement for Sonic's running. But still, you gotta love those Metal Sonic sound effects. Now, I'm sure some people are asking, why are the robots attacking Metal Sonic? A wizard did it. I guess they would have to redesign good guys that Metal Sonic would have to fight, you know, new enemies that Metal Sonic would have to fight. Like, maybe they'd have to make up, like, a whole bunch of gun troops or flickies that you had to beat up or something. So instead of putting in effort and making new enemy types, they just throw in the same old badniks that are part of these levels, and you have to go face off with them. I'm sure there's a headcanon reason, though. You know, in my headcanon, Metal Sonic is like Dr. Eggman's favorite creation, right? Like, Eggman was so happy that he brought Metal Sonic back, he was laughing so much and, like, celebrating so much. And, like, all the Burrobots, all the Slicers, all the Motobugs, they look at Metal Sonic and you know what they see? Oh, look, it's Teacher's Pet. Oh, look, it's Daddy's boy there. It's Metal Sonic, little suck-up. Our special little snowflake who gets special treatment. Why does Metal Sonic get all the praise and admiration? I'm just as good. I'm a Motobug, damn it. I'm all kinds of hot shit. So all the badniks, they see Metal Sonic and they're all jealous, and they all want to kick Metal Sonic's ass because they're not really cool with how much Eggman loves them. Yeah, that's my headcanon, and that's what I'm sticking with. It could work. You don't know. I do have questions about the opening cutscene, though. Okay, so, like, when Metal Sonic was on the little planet, it was the bad future. If Sonic had stopped Eggman, like we're supposed to believe, during the events of Sonic CD, then that should have been the good future. Clearly it's a copy-paste job, taking assets from Sonic Generations, because Sonic Generations had a Stardust Speedway Metal Sonic boss fight in that game. But, you know, it raises some eyebrows when you see Metal Sonic being taken from a bad future, which is, 1, the future, and 2, the bad one, where Eggman would still have the time stones, and he would still, like, time loop the little planet, and he would just, like, bring it back to the way it was at the end of the game. There was a bad ending of Sonic CD for a reason, guys. You had to get the time stones away from him. You had to get good futures in there. I mean, come on. But even ignoring that, this is supposed to be, like, the time where Sonic has green eyes, and Eggman has his fancy new jacket. But, like, Metal Sonic's been in other classic Sonic games, right? He's been in Sonic Triple Trouble, he's been in Sonic Drift 2, he's been in Sonic the Fighters, and you can't tell me that none of those are canon anymore, goddammit. My heart can't take it. Sonic lore is so important to me. This game about a hedgehog who bounces on springs and eats chili dogs, the lore is super important to me. And if you're telling me those games aren't canon anymore, that Metal Sonic was on Little Planet this whole entire time and he never got off until just now, I don't know how I can sleep at night. Maybe Eggman retrieved him after the events of Generations, because Metal Sonic was left there during Generations. There, I solved it. It's fixed. What did Metal Sonic just pick up? No, really, what is that? They don't give an explanation as to what Metal Sonic collected in the main menu or any kind of website as far as I know. There wasn't any, like, a magical, mystical ruins that Dr. Eggman learned about and he made Metal Sonic get that power. That just sort of came out of nowhere. I'm going to assume it's the evil energy from Mega Man 8. The stuff that came from outer space and made Bass all powerful for his boss fight. Bass, why you don't understand? Why you don't understand, Bass? That evil energy is bad for you, God. But Metal Sonic has picked up evil energy in a ruin somewhere, and I guess it's supposed to make him powerful for all the boss fights we'll be seeing with him later, but it doesn't do anything for the gameplay that you're seeing right now, but yeah. Metal Sonic's objective is to kill Sonic as usual, so I guess he needed some extra power to make sure that the failure of Sonic CD didn't happen again. Or sorry, the failure of Sonic Generations, because they can't erase canon. Whatever. But, it's fun to go back through these levels to remember Episode 1. I don't really like all these Metal Sonic levels because they make the levels so much more annoying than they were in the actual game. But, you know, people who've seen my Let's Play of Sonic 4 Episode 1 already know my thoughts on the game, and, you know, I don't think it's one of the greats, I don't think it's one of the top 10 greatest Sonic games ever made or anything, but I can always look past a lot of the problems Sonic 4 haters have with the game. I never cared about the momentum. I like the music. It's still 2D Sonic and what I want from a 2D Sonic game. You know, Sonic the Hedgehog 4 Episode 1's a hell of a lot better than a game like Sonic Boom Shattered Crystal. I like it more in Sonic Advance 3. It's definitely got its flaws, and certainly now that we're in this age of 2017 and Sonic Mania has been announced. When I did my Let's Play of Sonic 4 Episode 1, Sonic Mania was not a thing. There was nothing to compare to be like, oh look at that old school, really Genesis Sonic game that makes this game look like absolute shit, you know? But now there is. Sonic Mania is going to be coming out later this year, and it actually looks like a Genesis game. It has multiple playable characters, unlike Sonic 4. It does look like it's going to be a big, awesome, really great game. Although, you know, we haven't played it yet. Who knows? This could be like George Lucas with Phantom Menace. We're all sure it's going to be great because of the people involved, but then we fucking play it and it's like, oh my god, what happened? It probably won't, but you know, I'm just saying, even with the Sonic Manias of the world that exist, you know, I still like my Sonic Rushes, I still like my Sonic Advance games, I still like Sonic 4 to some capacity, you know? I still think this is kind of fun. This is what I want from a Sonic game. Could be better, could be more amazing. I think Generations is a lot better than this, and I played through Generations and saw all the awesome set pieces with City Escape and stuff, but yeah. I still think this is Sonic to me. This screams Sonic to me, it's what I want from a Sonic game. Don't really have too many complaints. But hey, I'm one of those Sonic fans with the crazy opinions, so take that with a grain of salt. And hey, in some ways, I think Episode 2 is actually a weaker game than Episode 1. And I'll tell you exactly why when we cross those bridges, but either way, this is Episode Metal. It's really just these 4 levels, so if you didn't get Episode 1, this is really all you're missing out on. 1 level from Mad Gear, 1 level from Lost Labyrinth, 1 level from Casino Street, and this level from Splash Hill Zone. Curse you, Sonic, and your sign! How does a sign have an Eggman side, a Sonic side, and a Metal Sonic side? That's a magical sign. And then later it's gonna have a Tails side, too. Signs, how do they work? And that's how Metal Sonic got a rocket. And now you know for when we meet Metal Sonic in the main campaign. Yeah, that's it. That's all episode metal is. Again, if you don't own a copy of episode 1, that's all you're missing out on, is those 4 zones with its rather dickish level design, and some kind of okay cutscenes if you're an Eggman fan like I am. But yeah, that's episode metal. Come back for part 2, folks. We're going to start the real campaign, and we're going to experience the new freshness that is Sonic the Hedgehog 4, episode 2.